You know, we've talked a lot about damages to people's homes. We haven't talked as much about business losses, and a lot of businesses had physical damage from the storm, and some, all had very much economic losses from the storm. We all were faced with a scenario where a mandatory evacuation was issued on Monday for most of Orange County and Jefferson County, and you know, Newton County I think was Wednesday, and then that lasted for an extended period of time in Orange County. It was lifted shortly after the storm in Jefferson County, but you know, that creates economic hardship. You know, there's loss of revenues, there's extra expenses associated with getting your people back to work, and power generation was a big one for us, I know, and I know it was a big one for a lot of folks who were without power for an extended period of time. You know, a lot of people don't know exactly what their coverages are with respect to business interruption and extra expenses, and how is it triggered. That's always something that jumps immediately to my mind, because in many instances those losses are more pronounced than the actual physical damage that you know, buildings took or property took. Talk to us about how you evaluate, you know, what's your recommendation to business owners about how they evaluate what their coverages are in that respect?
Well, business owners, obviously, you're not open for business. That's not a good thing. And so, fortunately, most business policies are sold combination packages that have coverage for loss of income and extra expense and things like that. Obviously, that's the first thing that you'll want to know, and your agent can tell you best, is, do I have this coverage? Talking again about wind events and flood events, in flood coverage, typically, there are no extra expenses and business income coverage. Fortunately, this was a wind event that will, in fact, trigger those coverages, including what they call civil authority claims, speaking to the evacuation and mandates that the county be free of people. There is coverage in most business policies for that. That's a good thing, because I know after Harvey, a lot of businesses weren't able to recover their lost economic casualties, but they were able to get their businesses repaired. In this policy, though, in the business world, that is usually pretty standard to have business interruption expense and extra expense. And again, what you need to do is, as a business owner, make those decisions that you need to be up and running. I have one business here in town. She had portable buildings on site in 2 or 3 days to keep her operation running, so that she could at least curb the loss to her business. You know, anything that you spend outside of your normal operating expenses to get back up and running, they are all eligible costs within reason for business interruption coverage and extra expense.